Yeah, nah man, you know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on, bounce, bounce, bounce. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly.
Alright, oh, I see it here. You just notified me. Let me check it out so I can share it. Alright, you guys. What I'm doing right now is literally sharing the 360 view from my segment on the HOtt PiXX right now. So if you guys want to go to Facebook and see the link, just to follow around the room. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice, no big deal. Alright, check it out, man. I'm about to do the HOtt PiXX, man. I had to do this because, you know, I was having a conversation with a few people and they said, you know, we got to get the connection between the old school and the new school about the history and about, you know, how to connect and influence more of the background portfolios of individuals. And I said, well, first, let me do this. One thing I know is that most of the time we recognize the product. We may hear the music and then ask who it is. And sometimes we may see the film and say, oh, wow, you know, that was hot. Who was in that? And then discover somebody in that film that we say, or a few people, and say, oh man, you know, that's it. They're laying it down. What I decided to do is go over to the top-ranked Blaxploitation films of the 70s. But the difference is on this one is we're going to go by this one source who's ranking who their number one is. And also, because there have been a certain amount of redos or remakes, none have really crossed over to what they call profitable success, major crossover success. You may say the last one that was close, and I didn't get to see the numbers, was Samuel L. Jackson and Shaft, you know, the recent one. But Mark, we're going to find out why certain ones just are not going to be remade. So when we go down this list, we're going to see if you can remember the day, Mario, because you was a little kid jumping over the drive-in theater fence trying to get in to watch them. And let me just say this. I was tripping because one of the films had rated X. What was the last movie you went to that had rated X?
They still do X?
Yes, dude.
They showing everything on regular cable TV.
Man, I was going.
Yes, there is no X.
There's no X, right? All right. So you let me know when you got your... See, I'm just leaving that alone. So you let me know when you're ready. And we'll go there. Because I know he's over there juggling. I can tell you this one. You ready? All right, let's go do this. Going to the first film. Now, I forgot about this. The last name is Jones.
Black Belt Joe.
Jim Kelly, Gloria Hendry, who was hot.
Yes.
She was hot. Okay.
Playboy Centerfold.
If you want to know notables who were in there, Scatman Crothers, who played in The Shining. Now, there's others, but just from name recognition, those who actually participated in what I call relatively a genre of film that's almost hearkening back to how they feel about B-film movies that are now being recognized for what they did back in the day. Film noir back in the 30s and 40s, probably more of the 40s and 50s. Will we be looking back at this generation? And so, Mario, how did this particular movie affect you? Did you go see it? Did you hear about it?
I mean, we all went to go see it. How did it affect? Well, you know,
you watch
we
Black
had
Belt
different
Jones.
levels of expectations in those days.
Black Belt Jones, man.
It was the beginning of even the martial stuff. You know, Bruce Lee was big.
Right.
So, no, we enjoyed it. But, you know, it certainly is not going to be
It didn't trailblaze with you, right?
No.
Okay, that's all I want to know. No problem.
No, it may have trailblazed because just having a black movie was trailblazing then.
Right. He's a bad.
It wasn't a super movie.
You see you see all the.
I don't remember seeing that in the ads back in those days. That was not a word that was used.
That's right. That's right.
So
it was not.
That must be an ad.
Yes, it is. It's an add-on. We know that. Okay, got it. All right, let's go to the next one. This one, shockingly, I had to think about. You know, the movie name, I wish it was different, but it isn't. Across 110th Street with Yaphet Kotto. Anthony Quinn now. And then you're talking about an iconic Anthony Quinn. Anthony Franciosa and Antonio Fargas, who played in that series way back in the day called Starsky and Hutch. Did you go see 110th Street Man Cross?
Yeah, and isn't that the one where Bobby Womack does the theme song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it from that more than anything else.
Well, yeah, the movie, yeah. It wasn't again.
Okay, let me do this.
That kind of.
That's wrong. Let me do this.
Hey.
This. So you know the premise of the movie. I should have done that with Black Belt Jones.
I don't know the premise.
Well, I didn't do it with Black Belt Jones because everybody knew it was about karate. So it was,
This was about being across 100.
Stop, man, stop. It's a black cop, Kodo, Kodo, and his racist Italian-American captain, Quinn, that's Anthony, pursued murderous crooks who ripped off the mob and threatened to start a war in Harlem. That's the premise of the show. Now, that's it, man. I'm going to take it out to the next. I don't want to sit back and give you the opportunity to say, I snuck in and watched that movie.
I can't remember, but I used to pay.
Right. Okay. This one I know Mario remembers. Let's take it to the next one. All I have to do is say Melvin Van Peebles, Sweetback's Baadassss song, 1971, Melvin Van Peebles. John Amos was in this, who featured in Good Times. What's the premise? The premise of the show: a gigolo with a magical penis runs from the police after being set up for murder he didn't commit. Sweetback was the big bang of Blaxploitation, a revolutionary independent movie that showed Hollywood that badass political black cinema could make bank. You agree with that, Mario?
That's right. Mario's dad, Melvin Van Peebles.
Right.
And a movie, again, these were historic times just because of the prejudice and the racism and the civil rights movement being as heated as it was at these times.
That's right.
Cannot look at these films without the context.
It's always in the context.
When it occurred. So
right.
Yeah, I remember I went to the Baldwin Theater for the premiere.
There you go. Right.
And there was something to do with the ratings. I think they just got around it.
Right.
Not getting ratings.
Absolutely. Well, I said there's always a history there. Now I'm ranking these in the order. So we went through 7, 6, that was 5th. Let's go to the 4th place. You know what, Mario, sometimes I remember all the women used to sit back and say, man, you had some fly clothes, man. Oh, super fly. My bad. 1972, Ron O'Neal, Sheila Frazier. What's the premise of the show? The perma-conked O'Neal is a cocaine dealer with that good hair who's trying to get out of the biz before he winds up dead or in prison. To do so, he needs to pull off the biggest coke deal he's ever undertaken. Mario, did the hype of Superfly get you more than Shaft?
No, but it continued on that, right on the heels of that phenomenon.
Right.
Part 2, and it was just, again, because of the hero being a drug, the whole cocaine thing.
Right.
Made it controversial.
Yes.
But just continuing on that theme.
Right.
The big black blockbuster, that was it.
Yeah, it was.
Curtis Mayfield, the soundtrack, something else.
Yes, very much so. I think the soundtrack did better than the film. I think it's historic that they said the money it made. So, I mean, I remember the music. It's unbelievably
not surprised.
Yeah, so all good. All right, going to take you down to one that, of course, is very contemporary in its time. All I have to do is say Foxy Brown, Pam Grier. Yeah. Antonio Fargas was in this one too. Starsky and Hutch, the TV show. The premise: only the finest woman alive. When she infiltrates a prostitution ring in order to find out who killed her husband, kicking ass, taking names, and wearing hooker clothes. Mario, did you enjoy her wearing?
Everybody enjoyed it. Every adolescent man in America who was smart enough,
right,
that made Pam Grier a household name.
Unbelievable, right?
Yes, unbelievable.
And would you say has had, I don't know about the Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson, but you would say the Foxy Brown whole character coming forward probably has some success more so than the other films, or there's one that sticks out?
Well, it's hard. Anything today's world is going to be way more than this world because of the limited distribution possibility. It's just not comparable.
Right, true.
So you could be a rerun today and do way more than you did in those days.
Yeah, absolutely.
But certainly that contributed to the folklore, right?
Oh yeah, because what is done in effect the music business as it relates to those who taking the name, using it in music, the image, and Pam Grier. Oh man, you know what? Let me just say this. I used to think like this, man. I'm just saying. Why didn't they just have what they call a two-team member movie, Pam Grier and Shaka Khan, back in the day?
I just looked at a video the other day of Shaka Khan with her feather thing and all her midriff out and all those. She was ripped.
Yes, that's why I said one.
She had a ripped
man all day. Okay, all right. Let's go over to the next. The next is that was in our third position. Let's go take it to number 2. The one that recently is hit as a remake, of course. Richard Roundtree, Shaft, 1971. Moses Gunn, Antonio Fargas was in this one as well.
That's right.
We're just talking about Shaft, the badass private detective who's hired to find a crime lord's kidnapped daughter and ends up in the middle of a Harlem gang war that could spark a race war. Did this permeate?
This was everything.
This was everything.
The great movie, good theme, black hero, upstanding brother, all of that, the right things, the right soundtrack. Isaac Hayes did it up, set a standard that exists to this day. He really is what made the movement toward having a popular track in a movement. Isaac Hayes with that Shaft, and then performed it at the Academy Awards.
Yes.
Oh no.
Right. He's giving it up. He's giving it up. So I can tell you right offhand, this next one is going to be interesting because I think it relates to today's culture, and they voted this number 1, and I think this is a promotion number 1. The Mack. 1973, Max Julien, Richard Pryor, Roger E. Mosley of Magnum P.I., Juanita Moore, Imitation of Life was in here. Goldie returned from San Quentin to run the pimp gang in Oakland. Rappers and entertainment company CEOs, if you want to learn what's the real game, take a lesson from the original and ask yourself, who's the Mack? They voted from this one source that this would be the number 1 out of this group. And only reason I see it this way is because of the contemporary culture. Who's your number 1, Mario?
Oh, I would disagree with that. I actually think they made a bad. The numbers on the Mack are dwarfed.
Yes.
There's almost no numbers.
Mack
was not a really successful movie. So certainly not anywhere near Superfly or Shaft. So I disagree. The other thing had to do with the fact that I remember very much the disdain to which the elders that I knew had for films, especially as part of the civil rights movement that glorified pimps and drug dealers.
Is that the reason why this one has not been remade?
Well, I would say this. It appeals to the bad boy culture.
That's right.
There are always those elements to me who favor supporting pimps and drug dealers over people of higher education.
So you now know why.
That means that stupidity exists well into the millennium.
Wait a minute. Here's the thing.
Okay.
What does Superfly represent?
Well, one thing about Superfly that was different as a story, if you actually, people who know this plot, was that he was actually trying to get out. That was, at the time, that was the argument we made to justify the movie.
I know exactly what it was.
The Mack wasn't even that.
Wait, stop. Wait. Let me do this. I kept asking myself, how come they didn't do a remake? Almost all the films we're looking at.
Who cares? But they also didn't remake Blackula either.
But no, this is part 1. We have a part 2. This is the part 1. The part 1 is this group. So I kept asking myself, I said, if this is their number 1, they're pushing this as a number 1. Forget that. I'm going to go to Superfly. Just so you guys know, there is.
And then I always question the they.
You're right.
Who's they that is doing that?
The source. I'm only going by the source.
Who is the source?
Right. And the source is on the page. Now, here's the other thing. There is the Superfly in development coming. So it's going to be interesting how they frame it and who will play. Now, here's the thing.
I would always say consider the source.
Wait a minute, Mario.
The source are no experts.
Wait a minute, Mario. If you had to think of an actor who could play Superfly, who's the first person to come to your mind? It's one of those. Hello.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Well, Idris Elba will not participate in any of these remakes, would he?
I don't see him as Superfly. He's a little old for the role to me, first of all. Even though he could,
Right.
it's just a stylistic influence. You need someone who has a little different kind of an edge to me
Right.
to play for that. I was thinking someone a little younger,
Right.
but a little bit more of that fly side.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this, going out. I know your number one is Shaft. Is your number two Superfly?
In terms of what?
Your favorite films that, or the films that could be...
Favorite Black exploitation film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that, especially you had a representative group, even though, I didn't really enjoy Sweetback that much.
Right.
But yeah, and of course, 125th Street.
Better acting.
The whole thing with Yaphet Kotto.
It was better acting in that one.
Yeah, so, and then again, the whole martial art thing, we knew those were bad movies. Jim Kelly... shoes would change. He's coming to the fight in black shoes.
Stop, man.
Then he'd kick and he'd be in tennis shoes.
Wait, stop.
I mean, come
Stop,
on.
man.
And we noticed it.
No, man. Come on.
And it's like they used to say the audio was always off on the Asian ones where fight the man. Get him.
Stop, man. Stop.
So I'd say Shaft and Superfly took it to another level. They were so big they had to make the industry recognize it. For that reason, Superfly having more of your traditional, more hero-ish kind of a character
Right.
for people.
I'm going with you. I'm going on the Shaft. And my number two is Foxy Brown. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just the way it is.
Well, certainly popular again. I think, the thing, I think that when it comes to legacy, that's always a debate. Because to me, you have to look at what the legacy is of.
That's right. That's right. All right. Hey, man, I'm done. I just wanted to pop that out there. Get you guys thinking. And there is a part 2 coming up, the next group of films, because there's so many. But my question is...
Yeah. Nah, man. You know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the